Croeso i'r sianel Blaid Llwyd. Dawn Chorus, it's a new VN on the channel. I told you I wasn't sure what was going to be happening. I have played through this one on my own time, and it's a fun one, so I decided to add it in. Now, we'll only be doing one route on this one. That's going to be the thing. Pretty much going forward, any new VN will just do one of the routes, otherwise I am just going to be swamped with VNs. I had two choices I was thinking of, and it was a hard choice, I tell you. But I'm not going to tell you who I choose. You'll find out later. This is a kind of a more lighter one than some of the VNs, so it's a nice change and gives us a bit of range here. Anyway, that's enough waffling on. Let's get started here. And as this is YouTube, we're going to be playing the safe for work mode. But devs, if you're watching when I'm playing on my own time, I'm definitely not safe for work mode. I'm going to go with the default Arvo, and I will apologise in advance, as this is set in Norway. I don't speak Norwegian. I may mess up some of the names here, but let me know if I get them really wrong. My paws are trembling. I know it speaks of stage fright or just my excitement. I try to keep them still. They refuse to listen to me. This is my big moment. All the work I put into this has finally paid off. Okay, deep breaths now. In and out. In. My name echoes from the speakers. I get up from my seat and start walking towards the stage. The speaker continues his speech, but the applause drowns him out. I feel so light as if I was walking not on red carpet but on clouds. I walk onto the stage and the speaker passes the award to me, shaking my paw and congratulating me. I can't hear his words. Winner of the Nordic Nature Photo Prize, the most prestigious nature photo contest in all Scandinavia. Holding the award, I turn to face the audience. My parents are sitting in the first row. I can tell how happy they are by the looks on their faces. My chest is bursting with pride, and for a moment I'm afraid I might tear up. Behind them are my fellow students and some of my friends. It's Miko waving to me, Lake sitting next to him, and a figure next to him stands up and starts descending down the stairs towards me. It's a student from my university, Rune. But what is he doing here? He makes his way to the stage, climbs onto it and grabs my paw. A nice job, Arvo. Come with me for a moment, I want to show you something. He turns around, pulling me with him. Taken completely by surprise, I follow him without a word. We finally reach some door, which Rune enters, pulling me in after him. It's almost completely dark inside, made it hard to even tell how big the room is. Where are we? Suddenly I feel Rune's snout press against mine as he leans in and kisses me gently. Dense foliage scrolls outside the dirty window. For a moment I can't collect my thoughts. Where am I? Refocusing my gaze, I notice my striped snout reflected in the window pane. Memories slowly come to me, still mingling with the dream. I'm on the bus, on my way to a guest house for a science camp with our club. Our university science club annually organises a camp for all members at the end of the winter semester. As a freshman, I'll be on this trip for the first time, and I'm pretty excited for it. This year we'll be staying at the guest house up north. If we're lucky, maybe we'll even see the Northern Lights. And I might really have a chance at winning that contest. Hey Arvo, you're finally awake. I turn around and I'm greeted by my childhood friend's grinning face. We're not far from the guest house now. He inspects my face closely as if looking for something. Oh, there's something wrong. You seem flustered. No, I'm just sleepy. I had a weird dream. Miko furrows his brows but doesn't press further, waiting for me to continue. When I don't, he shrugs and leans back on his seat, putting his headphones back on. Trying to recall the content of my dream, I suddenly remember that Rune is sitting just behind me. I turn back further and take a quick glance at Rune. He seems to be busy playing with his phone. He's well known at the university, A basketball player playing on a local team. One of their best, actually. Quite popular too. Which is no wonder considering his toned body. The outlines of his muscles are visible even now through his t-shirt. He studies neuroscience in the same department as me, but I never had a chance to talk with him. I sigh and sit back. Maybe I should try falling asleep again. A quick glance at my watch tells me it's almost 1300 already, so we should be close to the guest house now. No point in trying to sleep then. Instead, I lean back and watch the snowflakes outside. They're blown around by the wind, swirling around and falling off the firs and pines, forming white capes between their branches. The snowfall is getting heavy, and the ground slowly disappears beneath the white cover. It's good they're almost at the guest house, because driving in these conditions cannot be easy. It's a bit weird that it's snowing this much. It's still only October. I take out my phone, but there's no reception. Well, we are literally in the middle of nowhere after all. I sigh and tap Miko on the shoulder. Hey, did you check the weather before we departed? Miko takes off his headphones and looks outside. Oh, no, but this doesn't look good. I hope we won't be stuck in the guest house all day. I was looking forward to a walk in the woods at least. Although, getting to spend a day together in the guest house doesn't sound bad either. Almost feels like being back in school. Yeah, doesn't sound bad for sure. Just like the old times. We were born in the same town and went to the same middle school, where we met for the first time. For almost the entire 3 years of it, we were basically inseparable. It's good to see him again, especially on a trip like this one. We'll have to see if we'll actually be given any free time at all. The schedule might be completely packed. Oh, by the way, hope lunch is served soon after we arrive. I'm starving already. Miko chuckles softly. As you usually are. I should have taken more sandwiches with you on this trip. I shudder. I hate how dry they always get after a few hours in the backpack. I'd rather wait for a proper meal. I know that you don't need much, unlike me. Well, that's just fuel. Shouldn't get too fussy over that. Well, maybe for you. I hope that we get a real feast when we're there. I wouldn't count on it. After all, we're on our way to a small guest house in the middle of nowhere. Fair point, but still, my body is a temple. I'm not going to throw just whatever into it. Miko chuckles, knowing I'm not being serious. Oh, it finally stopped snowing. I lean against the smooth glass, looking at the white landscape. The bus turns left into a long driveway, and then, cutting through the sky, I see an eagle. I grab my camera bag, but the bird turns in flight and disappears behind the trees before I even take out the camera. What's up? I saw an eagle flying above the bus. It's already gone. An eagle, huh? Eagles are rare, but here up north, spotting one is even rarer. Birds are truly fascinating creatures. Like mammals, they evolved to stand on 2 legs. But unlike us, they weren't given arms and opposable thumbs. While we moulded and transformed the world around us, birds became free spirits, freely roaming the land. I often wonder how it would feel to be a bird instead of an earthbound tiger. Earth would surely look different from that perspective. At that moment, the bus stopped. Looking through the window, I can see the wooden guest house. It honestly looks better than I thought it would. Well, it looks like we're already here. Okay, well, let's go see what awaits us. I quickly pack the camera back into my bag and zip my hoodie. Miko is already packed, so he just stands up and grabs his coat and backpack. Okay, everyone, we have arrived. Please take your bags and go straight to the lobby. Coach is already standing in front of the bus, waiting for everyone to exit the vehicle. He, alongside a biology professor and a physics faculty member, is here to oversee us during the trip. Even though he's my coach, I don't know much about him. Only that he's quite young for a teacher, and he's not from Norway. Physical education was never my forte, though, and I think I skipped most of the classes so far. Yeah, I don't think he likes me very much. If he even knows who I am. I grab my coat and put it on, hopping outside after the wolf. Oof, it's cold. Even though I'm wearing a coat, I shiver in the cold Arctic air. I look ahead of us and I'm floored. The guest house, all wooden on the outside, is divided into several connected buildings. Everything looks so modern. The simple shape of the buildings still make it seem cosy. This is much, much better than what I expected. The whole guest house is situated on top of a hill with stunning views in every direction. I bet I could even see the ocean from the roof. We head towards it side by side. I can see Rune's antlers swaying above the small crowd of students walking to the building. A solitary head turns in our direction. White mane and a pair of lively crimson eyes. Lake. He shoots us a glance and turns around quickly. Is he looking for us? I raise my paw to wave to him, but he's already walking with the rest. Miko brushes against my side accidentally, struggling to walk straight ahead with his huge backpack. I wonder what he has inside. It must weigh a ton. Don't tell me you've taken everything you had in your room with you. I hope he didn't bring all of the music gear he usually uses. Oh, no, not everything, just what I might need with me here. Knowing you, it means just that. He takes out a phone from his pocket and takes a picture of the guest house. Now that we're at our destination, excitement finally floods me. Ahead of me is a whole camp full of adventures and this beautiful Nordic scenery. Invigorated, I straighten my back and smile contentedly, marching towards the guest house. I need to use this time the best I can. Day 1. Arvo, here's your key. Oh, thank you, Professor. I mumble and take the key with the number 17 written on the tag, briskly return to Miko. I'm one of the first students to get a key, which turned out to be a somewhat lengthy process. We were given a choice between single and double rooms, as there were less students than available beds, and the university had rented the whole guest house. I decided to get my own room. Miko had wanted to take a double room with me, and I'd even considered it. But in the end, I like having a place I can retreat to, just by myself. And well, I don't know if I'm ready to share a room with him yet. I'd rather not start thinking about it all again now. Room number 17. I wonder if that's on one of the upper floors. Maybe with a bit of luck I'll get a room close to yours. Although with the size of this guest house, I don't think it really matters. Miko also opted to get a room on his own, mostly because he doesn't know anyone here well enough except me. Well, let's say he's not very good at meeting new people. Everyone already got their key. Please go to your rooms, unpack, and be in the cafeteria in 30 minutes. It's behind the door at the end of this corridor. I'll go drop off my stuff. I can't wait to get this backpack off me. Okay then, see you in a while. I walk down the single loaded corridor alone, counting the rooms. I count all the way up to 11 before I reach the end. It must be upstairs then. Even better for me, I'll have better views. Turning around to get back to the staircase, I bump into a lion in a flannel shirt holding a coat in his paw. Lake, again. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to walk into you. He takes a step back, smiling timidly. Oh, it's okay, I should be more careful. I did not hear you at all. Oh, no, it's my fault. I didn't mean to sneak on you. The carpets get really thick. The whole place is so nice. Looks pretty fancy. There's so much wood in here. I chuckle. Although he seems timid at first, this line can be pretty intense. So much nicer than my home. I'm really excited to be here and I can't wait to see my room. I hope it's as fancy as the rest of this place. Yeah, really intense. We just arrived and he's already bursting with energy. Yeah, I like it here too. It's really cozy. If the corridor's so nice, imagine how cool the rooms have to be. I'm just trying to find mine. My stuff is pretty heavy, so I want to get it all that off me finally. I look over at Lake, who only has a small backpack with him. Lucky. Or just smart. Oh, sure, yeah, that's a good idea. By the way, which room is yours? I got room number 17. How about you? It'd be nice to pay him a visit later. I'm sure Adria has some fun ideas on how to spend the camp. I'm at 12 and I have a feeling you'll end up there sooner or later. See you later, Arvo. Yeah, see you, Lake. Why did I pack so much? Cursing myself in my head, I carry my unreasonably heavy bag in both paws. I need to learn to pack only the stuff I really need, and it better be sometime soon. This time it's my turn to bump into someone. Oh, hello. In front of me, walking down the stairs, stands a bear. From the downwards perspective, he looks outright imposing, and I can't help but feel a bit intimidated by his presence. Sorry. I wasn't paying attention to where I'm going. I packed a bit too much and have to carry all this upstairs. Oh, don't worry. Here, let me help you. The bear laughs loudly and takes my bag from me, carrying it upstairs with ease. He's big, although I can only speculate if it's more muscles or fat, and it looks like the bag is nothing to him. It's a very fortunate turn of events for me. I'm sure those stairs would be the death of me. Okay, where to? Room number 17. Should be right around here. We find my room easily. I unlock the door and swing it to open. Okay, here you are. The bear drops my bag at the door and turns to leave. Hey, thanks. Oh, no problem. Glad I could help. I'd gladly stay and talk some more, but I need to go fetch the rest of my stuff, sorry. Picking up the bag, I turn to enter the room, and that's when it hits me. I didn't even introduce myself. Hey, wait, what's your name? The bear has already gone, though. Well, I'll catch him later. I sigh and enter the room, closing the door behind me. Neat is the first word that pops into my head when I look around it. The room isn't big, but it doesn't feel cramped either. If anything, I'm amazed at how well I've used the space. The walls here are also wooden, with one tasteful painting hanging above the bed for decoration. The bed, covered by colourful patchwork, is big enough to fit at least 2 people comfortably. There's also a small wardrobe, a desk and a chair. They're all minimalistic in style, fitting well with the room. A thick carpet covers the wooden floor. The colours remind me of a meadow or a sunset sky. Ever-changing tapestry of vibrant colours in cloudy white. Oh, I'm going to love staying here. It feels like home, while simultaneously being better than any home I've ever had. I'll have plenty of time to look around though, but now I can just drop off my stuff and head back to the lobby. Maybe I'll check if Miko got his room yet. Or I could go pay Lake a brief visit. Let's go see what Miko's up to. It's been a few minutes already. If I go now, maybe I can still catch Miko before he gets his key. Taking only my camera bag with me, I leave the room and lock the door behind me. Oh, Miko. Walking around the corner, I see Miko at the end of the corridor. He waves to someone behind him before turning around and noticing me. Oh, hey, Arvo. You got your key yet? Oh, yeah, I got room number 3. It should be right here. You need any help with that? I point to the huge bag Miko's dragging behind him. Being smaller than me, Miko often had to rely on me while carrying stuff, so used to that I ask almost automatically. I won't turn that down, it's pretty heavy. I grab the bag and try to lift it. Oh damn, it's even heavier than it looks. Oh, by the way, who were you waving to? Oh, when I was waiting for the key, I was approached by a Tanuki that studies in the same department as me. We hadn't talked before, but he remembered me, so he came to say hello and we talked for a bit. Maybe I was wrong about Miko being bad at making friends. Not even an hour has passed and he already met someone. Maybe I shouldn't assume he's the same little wolf I knew 3 years ago. That's a lot of time to change. Hell, I feel like I'm a different person every 2 or 3 years. We haven't talked almost at all about the time we were separate. We have so much catching up to do. Arvo? Yes? Oh, here. I got so lost in thoughts I didn't notice Miko had stopped. Oh, right. Do you want to come in for a moment? Sure, yeah. I can't stay for long, though. I haven't unpacked anything yet. Just dropped off my stuff. Miko walks in through the door and I follow him, lifting the bag to avoid bumping it at the doorstep. His room looks similar to mine, which is no surprise. What surprises me, though, is he has 2 single beds instead of 1, like in mine. You asked for a double room? Oh no, Coach Stefan said almost all the rooms here are double, so even if we ask for a single one, we still might get one with 2 beds. I still have it all for myself, though. Oh, I see. That's neat. Where should I put the bag? Oh, just anywhere. I'll unpack it right away. What's inside, by the way? It wouldn't be heavy if you stuffed it with rocks, I think. Oh, just some instruments and effects. The stuff I thought I might need. I walk out of the window and draw open the curtains, looking outside. It's not snowing as much anymore at the moment, but it'll probably pick up again soon. The view, even from the ground floor, is still spectacular. The guest house is surrounded by a forest, and in the distance some hills hide beneath thick layers of fog. Soft white fluff is covering everything in sight. I look around, admiring the serene landscape, and then at the edge of the forest, perched on a tree, I see it. Look, an eagle! And I think it's the same one I saw earlier. I quickly unzip my bag and take out my camera. I turn it on, nervously waiting for it to start responding. The screen is still black. Stupid me. I take off the lens cap, point the camera in the direction where I spotted it and look through the viewfinder. It's gone again. I feel a wave of cold sweat run over my back. I've lost it. I was too slow. You didn't catch it. I turn around. Miko leaning in is looking at me with concern. Seen him up close the first time in 3 years, I realised I'd forgotten how blue his eyes are. Looks like it. I wasn't quick enough. I feel the urge to kick myself on the shin for this. I've seen it twice today and both times I was too slow. Suddenly I find myself in the tight embrace of my childhood friend. Slowly my anger fades away and I hug him back. His smell is very familiar and comforting. Like most Finns, he wasn't always such a physical person. It was my influence, mostly, that changed it. I've always liked keeping my friends close, and I've always found hugging very comforting. So, little by little, I turned him from a typical solitary Finn into the cuddly wolf he is now. Now I'm the first one to push back, though, breaking the hug. I really missed him. Although, how on earth did you want to get a good shot through the window? Oh, I put a polarizing filter on this lens, just in case we'd witness something interesting during the ride. See? I unscrew the filter from the lens and show it to Miko. He takes the ring and rotates it in his fingers, observing how it brightens and darkens the image depending on the angle. At a good angle, it cleans out all the reflections nicely. I still need a lot of luck to get a good shot, though. I glance outside again, just in any case, but behind the window only snowflakes dance in the Arctic air. Meanwhile, Miko opens his bags and starts unpacking his stuff. Oh, you need any help with that? Sweet of you to ask, there's not much of it. I seriously doubt that, but I'm not going to press. Maybe he's afraid to let me handle his gear. I always have been a bit of a clumsy type. I better leave him now and go and pack myself too. I'm sorry this visit was so brief, but I should be going already. Aw. Visit me sometime later too, okay? Sure thing, we'll have plenty of time. See you later. See you, Arvo. It's really nice to see him again and spend some time together. It takes me back to my adolescence and all those memories I have of it. Some rose-tinted and drenched in warm sunlight, some bittersweet, but not any less precious. Although, it also feels a bit awkward. There are some unresolved things hanging between us. Neither of us has tried to talk about them since we were reunited. At the end of the middle school, I developed a crush on him and started to avoid him for that reason. I wasn't ready to admit, even to myself, I might not be straight. Thankfully, it's all in the past now. I got over my crush on him after a few hard months that felt like a fever dream. After middle school, we each went to different high schools, and our paths separated. Miko tried to keep in touch, but I couldn't bring myself to talk with him. We separated without a goodbye. This year, however, we found ourselves studying at the same university, although in different departments. We just resumed our friendship as if nothing had happened, but we both know there are things we'll have to talk about sooner or later. Maybe that'll give me some sense of closure. Closing the chapter so that we can start a new one. But for now, I prefer to just enjoy his company while I can. I really missed him, and seeing him smile makes me happy too. And he seems truly happy for the camp. I haven't seen him this cheerful in, well, maybe ever. I wonder what view I have from here. I should be able to see more of the landscape than from the ground floor at least. I pick up my bag and take out my instant camera. It's only for special occasions, but this certainly is one. Walking up to the window, I take a look outside. From here I can see a few lakes and clearings, spots of shimmering water and white splotches between the trees. Soft white fluff is covering everything in sight, and it's starting to snow again. A blanket of grey clouds hangs heavy above the land, casting shadows over everything. I love this kind of weather. There's something mysterious about dark days like today, as if the earth is covering itself in snow and shade to hide its secrets from our eyes. The snowflakes dance in the air before my eyes, blown around by the wind, blind and silent. I wish I could see some more birds, but that's unlikely, especially with the snowing getting heavier again. I could spend the whole day just looking at the landscape though. I open the window and the cold wind pushes in, ruffling my fur. Smells of pines and earth. I turn on the camera and lean on the windowsill, creating a bipod with my arms. A quick look into the viewfinder to find the right frame. I swiftly close the window. The air in the room is much chillier now. My fur is all bristled from the unfriendly wind, but I have my photo. I put it from the camera and quickly stowed it in the camera bag to shield it from the light. If I just left it out in the open, it would have been ruined. Instant photos require a lot of care. I still have a few minutes left to unpack. I take my shoes off. I should have done it before walking straight across the room, and put on the lighter ones I took from my bag. The next few minutes are spent on emptying my bag and putting everything in its newly assigned places. I'm done just before the 30 minutes have passed. I take the photo out of the bag, careful not to touch the surface, otherwise I could leave pad prints on it and never be able to get rid of them. Photo turned out pretty much as I wanted. The ominous sky fills most of the frame, outstretched above the fuzzy dark green splotch of the forest beneath, or behind the swirl of snowflakes. You never know what you'll end up with when taking an instant photo, or using film in general. That's precisely what I love about it. When I know exactly what photo I want to take, I use my DSLR. But when I want to capture not a scene, but a mood or a feeling, something fleeting and delicate, I take out the instant camera. Often what I end up loving the most in those photos are the imperfections. Like the overexposed white spaces where something should be but isn't. There's just a blank space left to our imagination. These photos seem alive in a way, and that's what I'm aiming for here. I want a reminder of this place and this moment of the future for me. I can sense there's something significant about this camp, as if something important is bound to happen here. My feline senses tell me that. I grab my camera bag, put the exposed photo in a side pocket and leave the room. The corridors are all empty. Everyone must already got there. A quick glance at my watch tells me it's 13:31, so I'm barely late by a minute. But lunch is the last thing I'd want to be late to. I open the door and enter the cafeteria. It looks like I'm not the last one. Most of the seats are occupied, but some of the students I saw on the bus are not here yet. The cafeteria is spacious and pretty modern, much better than what I'd expect from a rural guest house. Some plants are lined up against a southern wall with windows, and lamps hanging from the ceiling light up the room. I see 2 tables with people I know. Miko is sitting at one at the end of the room with that bear I met earlier and a raccoon I don't know, and Lake is sitting at the table just next to that one, together with Coach and Rune. Lake notices me first and waves me enthusiastically. Kind of a hard decision again. Oh, we're not far into this, and you guys are making it hard to decide who to sit with. But for this playthrough, I think we're going to go and sit with Miko. I hesitate for a moment, but I wave back to Lake and walk up to the table where Miko is sitting and take the spot next to him. He notices me and greets me a warm smile. I don't know the others, but at least I'm with my friend. And Lake, I'll catch up with him after lunch. Well, I ate for lunch, that's unlike you. I wanted to finish unpacking before coming here, and I took too much stuff as always. Hey, I'm just teasing you. I probably took twice as much stuff as you did anyway. The food isn't here yet, but it should be here in a minute. Hey, so you're Arvo, yes? Miko mentioned you just a short while before. From the other side of the table, the bear I met earlier leans in and introduces himself in a considerably low voice. Well, I didn't introduce myself earlier. I'm Bjorn. I study neuroscience. Yes, that's me. Good to meet you again. And likewise. Sorry for leaving you like that, but I don't like leaving my bags unattended. Even though he still feels slightly intimidating, he also seems pretty friendly. At least judging by his introduction. Also, if my bag was nothing to him, what the hell did this guy pack to have to make multiple courses? You two know each other yet? He gestures to the raccoon sitting next to him and I shake my head. This is Travis. And I'm studying neuroscience too. I've started this year. Travis is much smaller than the bear sitting next to him and even more energetic. He has that lively, eager spark in his eyes that young animals have. Raccoons rarely live in this part of the world. He speaks with basically no accent. I wonder if he's from around here. You're a raccoon, yes? Are you from here or did you move here for your studies? Oh, I'm not a raccoon, I'm a tanuki. See this tail? No stripes. He smirks, lifting his long, fluffy tail. No stripes indeed. I feel stupid now. Oh, this must be the tanuki Miko mentioned earlier. Oh, don't worry, that's a common mistake. I don't mind. And I was born in the US, but my mom is from Japan, so I'm half American, half Japanese. Nice to meet you, Arvo. Nice to meet you too. I smile meekly, still feeling stupid over that mistake. He might say whatever he wants, but it's always rude to mistake someone's species. I want to apologise to him, but interrupted by the waiter putting plates with our meals on our table. Ooh. I could swear his eyes gleamed with pure lust. Before us are two sizable dishes, one with what looks like a root vegetable stew, and the other with some sort of salad. There's also a basket with bread and a plate with sunshine buns, each wrapped in paper for convenience. Oh, I love those. Soft and fluffy, smelling of cardamom and cinnamon, they became my go-to dessert after moving to Norway. Roko salad and turnip stew, nice. Sorry, I think I mangled that one. Light and tasty, good choice for lunch. Looking at him, I would never guess he likes his lunch light. He's built like a tank, that's for sure. I bite my tongue and refrain from inquiring about this, though. I've just met him. What a way to ruin a new friendship that would be. Oh, looks yummy. What do you usually eat for lunch? It's usually a few sandwiches, then a sweet roll or two. Looks like he has a sweet tooth. This I can believe. In Norway, we usually have plain sandwiches for lunch. One topping each, nothing more. It's sort of a tradition to have a lunch as uninteresting as possible. He gestures with the spoon in his paw, looking pretty funny. Very droll tradition, if you ask me. It started with some government-funded program provided lunches for children, back when Norway was a poor country. But we're not anymore, and I'd rather have something that brightens up my day. He gives me a wide grin, and I smile back. His good mood is contagious, and despite not knowing each other well, the atmosphere at our table is lively and relaxed. I don't understand why you Norwegians are doing this to yourselves. Like, there are so many good things you can eat, and if you eat your dark bread with some kind of tasteless paste every day. Travis is already putting some thick stew on his plate along with a few slices of rye bread. We're glad that we got a lunch like this today. He grabs his glass, full of what looks like orange juice, and lifts it up theatrically. To our university. Finishing the glass in one big beastly gulp, he takes the salad spoon from Travis and starts to put the salad on his plate. Aitadake kimasu, Travis proclaimed loudly. It had a greater effect if he had a pair of chopsticks in his paws instead of a spoon. I glance at Miko. He's looking somewhere sideways, not really paying attention to us. If I didn't know him any better, I'd have thought he doesn't want to talk with us. But I do. I know that he's always silent with new groups of people. He's friendly, of course, but he needs some time to get used to everyone. And the louder and more enthusiastic the company is, the more he retreats into himself. Oh, Miko, tell them what you always have for lunch. Miko jumps a little in his seat and turns towards us. I hope I didn't give him a heart attack. Yeah, usually I make myself a Huel shake. I don't need anything fancy. Huel, what's that? Well, it's a shake powder mix. That's all the nutrients your body needs. It's as convenient as fast as it gets. Preparation takes literally a minute. It's a really interesting concept. On one part, it's nutritious and healthy. On the other, it's as processed as food can get. He let me try it once, and while I unexpectedly didn't hate it, I've never recognised it as a proper substitute for a meal. Bjorn clearly doesn't seem convinced either, and Miko is getting flustered. This is not good. Maybe that wasn't the best topic to bring up. Well, it takes some time to get used to it, but it's not bad. I grab the salad spoon and start putting food on his plate for him. That's enough, or do you want some more? Oh, that's enough. I'm not that hungry yet. And thank you. Looking back at the rest, I can see that Bjorn observes us with amusement. Am I doing something weird? This reminds me of the time when Miko would almost spend more time at my place than at his home. We'd eat my mother's food together almost every weekday. I remember that Miko tried to tell his father he eats his lunches in the lunch bar nearby, or they needed money from him to do that. That failed, of course, because his father didn't really have any money. I should stop daydreaming now, though. Instead, I put some stew and salad on my plate. Oh, that smells good. Until now, I didn't really realise how hungry I was. I grabbed a slice of rye bread and started eating the stew. It has a rich, earthy taste. The turnips add a crunchy texture. It's flavoured masterfully, not bland and not too strong, with a hint of thyme and smoked paprika. Oh, that's good. Oh, I needed that. Well, it is indeed. Bjorn was a bit quiet at first too. With a good meal in front of him, he seemed to open up a bit more. He seemed to have a bit of an unapproachable aura to him, but maybe that was just the first impression. Suddenly I hear the door to the cafeteria opening. I turn in their direction and see a figure clad in dark clothes entering the room. And they're walking in our direction. He sits down next to Bjorn and starts to put food on his plate, all without saying anything. I look at Bjorn questioningly. He only shrugs, apparently clueless himself. Take a better look at the newcomer. He's definitely a cat. Not very tall, average build, dyed hair, and... Is that a pentagram hanging from his neck? Hello, I'm Travis and I'm a freshman studying neuroscience. How about you? I exhale with relief. Travis's kindness is stronger than the stranger's awkwardness. Good, I was afraid that we'd spend the rest of the lunch in silence. I'm Klaus. Looks like that's all we'll get from him. So anyway, Arvo, you're from Finland like Miko, yeah? What made you move here? Yes, I moved here as I needed some change of scenery. I wanted to study cognitive science, and then the universities back home had a good syllabus alongside the facilities for that. Well, I've never heard of that subject. What's it about? It's a broad field encompassing neurobiology, psychology, and anthropology. Its main focus being the process of cognition. What's more fascinating than that? It's how we perceive the world around us and how we perceive ourselves. Potentially, it's a key to understanding the animal mind. Wow, I think I sounded smart. And maybe even convincing if I had some luck. That's interesting. It overlaps a bit with what I'm studying. Well, see if you find a job after that, though. Look who's talking. You're studying marine biology, Miko. Hey, it's also an interesting field. Marine mammals are similar to us in many ways, but do not evolve with opposable thumbs and do not walk on two paws. We cannot yet communicate with them, and I want to work on bridging this gap between us. There's a lot of scientific work to be done here. We're only now finally warm with the idea that the creatures around us are also sapient. What made you study neuroscience, Bjorn? Well, Being a neuroscientist is a respectable job, isn't it? And neurobiology is an important field. This is an odd answer for sure. It sounds as if he's trying to convince himself as much as me. Those aren't really interesting. What's really interesting is botany. We all look at Klaus, taken aback. He continues, though, not even looking up from his plate. Plants are much more interesting than any animal. We think so highly of ourselves, but this planet belongs to plants. Without them, no animal could live. What's up with that evil look in his eyes? Attention, everyone. I have a few important things to say. The cafeteria goes silent in an instant. Everyone turns in Coach's direction, who's standing next to his seat. Welcome to the first day of our winter science camp. Ahead of us a week full of activities, lectures and practical classes, and some leisure time as well. For now, we'll let you rest. After lunch, you're free to do whatever you please. Today is for integrational fun. Devon takes a note out of his pocket and starts reading from it. Dinner is at 1600 here in the cafeteria. This evening, if the weather allows, those who signed up for it will be observing stars from the terrace. All the guest house's facilities are at your disposal. This includes a swimming pool, a sauna, and a common space with a snooker table. There's a sauna here. A small win for me. Please remember that tomorrow we'll meet at the entrance at 8:30 for a trip to the town. Don't be late. Breakfast is served at 700. Devon folds the paper back and hides it in his pocket, looking around the room at all the students. You're all adults, so you're free to leave the guest house. Just please don't do anything stupid. It'll be us teachers who'd have to handle that. If you need anything, you can find me in room number 2. In case there's an emergency, I'm your first person to contact. I'll say the most you've finished already. That's all for now, you're free to go. Oh, I can't wait for the trip to the town. It's been so long since we last been together anywhere. It should be nice, yeah. I'm a bit worried there'll be anything to do in a small town up north, though. Well, as long as we're together, there'll always be something to do. I feel some warm and fuzzy feeling building up in my chest. I'd already forgotten how cute he can be. I'll see you in a while then. I stand up and start turning towards the others, but suddenly I once again find myself in the wolf's tight embrace. I wrap my arms around him, reciprocating the hug and snuggling him closely. Although that's something we probably shouldn't be doing in a cafeteria. I'm sure we're getting some looks. While I usually don't mind that, the rest of you don't know me well, or at all. Patting him on the back, I break the hug. Yeah, see you in a while. Come visit me later if you have time. I turn towards the rest of the table. I'll see you all soon. I'll see you, Arvo. I see you. I'll be seeing you. Well, even now the camp has passed and looks like I've already made some friends here. Now that's a good start. I grab a sunshine bun from the plate and take a bite, holding it through the paper. Oh, it's so good. I let out a pleasured sigh. Turning around, I walk out of the cafeteria with the sunshine bun in my paw, heading towards my room. I bump into a few students on my way out of the cafeteria, but thankfully the bun didn't take any damage. Coming back to my room, I catch myself humming a melody. I haven't been in such a good mood in a long while. I've got every reason to be. The air here is clean and pleasant, even inside the guest house. I have nothing to worry about. No classes, no assignments, no groceries or cleaning to be done. It's so peaceful here. I feel this strange energy building up inside me, excitement for the coming time that threatens to explode. I'm free. I have nowhere to hurry, and at the same time there's so much I want to do. I have this whole camp ahead of me. I really can't wait to walk around the forest here and hop into the sauna afterwards. Standing finally before the door to my room, I put a paw in my pocket to take out the key. But it's not there. I wiggle my paw inside the pocket, but it's empty. I check the other pocket. Only my phone is there, and of course I wouldn't put keys in the same pocket as my phone anyway. I feel the cold sweat on my forehead. No, No. Things like that don't really happen. There's literally no way I could lose that key. I always put my keys in my right pocket. I wear trousers with deep inner pockets and nothing falls out. I pressed the handle and tried to open the door, but it doesn't budge. I knew I locked it anyway. Okay, deep breaths. The key must have simply fallen out of my pocket somewhere along the way, maybe in the cafeteria. I simply have to retrace my steps and look for them. In the back of my head, I know it's not what happened. I turned back around and walked down the stairs, scanning the carpet for any unexpected shapes. Some students passed me along the way, and I tried my best not to look distressed. I don't want the others to look at me as I'm some clumsy kid, but foremost I'm scared of possible fines for losing a key. I'm just a student without any job. I can't really afford putting even more strain on my budget. But not even consider it. I feel like I'm already on the verge of a panic attack. I might have wanted some adventures during this camp, but this is definitely not what I had in mind. What if someone already found the key? That's entirely possible. If I found a key on the floor and didn't know who the owner was, I'd return it to a teacher. Coach Devon said to contact him if we need anything. Maybe I should go straight to him and ask for advice. No, I don't want to bring anyone else into it before I check the corridors and the cafeteria myself. I'll leave that for the last resort. Arvo, what are you doing? I almost jumped back, startled. Why is everyone so set on scaring me today? Oh, Bjorn, hi. I didn't see you there. I try to hide my nervousness the best I can. My voice still comes out slightly quavering. Thankfully, he does not seem to notice. You must have been daydreaming pretty hard. I'm quite easy to see. Actually, I've lost the key to my room and I'm looking for it now. Oh. That sucks, man. Sorry to hear that. I must look pretty downcast right now with how he's looking at me with sympathy. Do you know what might have happened to it? No idea. I'm retracing my path and looking for it along the way. Hey, how about I tag along? I'm not really doing anything right now anyway, and maybe I could help. My ears perk up at his words. I definitely feel better having someone by my side now. Sure, I could use some company. Tag along if you wish. Bjorn nods, shoving his paws into his pockets. So, you went straight to your room after lunch, or did you go anywhere else? I went straight to my room, so I hope I'll find the key in the cafeteria. Okay, let's go then. I'll keep my eyes open too. Oh, maybe someone left their sunshine roll there. I chuckle. He's more of a glutton than I thought. But frankly, I'd gladly have another one too. We continued down the corridor of the cafeteria together, side by side. His steps are longer than mine, so I have to walk faster than usual to keep up with him. I listened to the heavy thuds of his paw steps getting in and out of sync with mine for a while, scanning the floor for the key. Just minutes ago the cafeteria was bustling with students, but now it's eerily silent. Tables are still covered with checkered tablecloths, gleaming in the sunlight filtered through the windows. Looks like the sun came out from behind the clouds for a moment. Even though it's only a while afternoon, it's already low on the horizon. We're above the Arctic Circle after all. The eeriness of the empty cafeteria in the Arctic sun makes it all seem like a scene from a film. The food is gone already. The sudden sound of the door closing after us echoes in the room, startling me. For a moment I forgot why we were even here. I snap out of my daze and start to look around instead. But to no avail. Do you see a key? No, it's not here. Someone could have found it and returned it already. Or so I hope. The most sensible thing to do now would be go to the reception and try to sort this out somehow. They should know what to do. I nod. I don't like this one bit, but he's right. I walk out to the window and lean on the windowsill. The sun already hid behind the clouds again. The snowfall still continues. The snow forms white caps on trees and covers everything in sight. If I opened the window, a cold Arctic wind would bring some inside too. I would extend my arms and watch how the snowflakes melt in my fur or get stuck between my whiskers. Suddenly I feel a heavy paw on my shoulder. Hey, everything will be fine, I'm sure. He gives me an earnest smile that could melt ice. It does make me feel a little bit better about all this. I'm glad I told him about the key, otherwise I would be alone with this here, probably even more panicked. Thanks. I'm glad you're here with me. Well, I wish I could help you somehow, though. You know, you already did. Just moments ago I felt awful, but now I'm even hopeful. Come on now, let's go to the reception. He nods when we both leave the empty cafeteria in silence. Walking to the lobby, I glance at Bjorn. He's looking straight ahead, focused and collected. There's a gleam in his brown eye, shining above his furry snout. I wonder what he's thinking about now. The silence between us doesn't feel uncomfortable. Bjorn was much more talkative during the lunch, and I'm afraid he hasn't yet warmed up to me. Bjorn? Yes? Is something on your mind? Oh, not really. Why do you ask? I'm just wondering. You know, first you helped me with the bag, now you're helping me with the key. Don't get me wrong, I'm thankful for that, but I can't help but feeling like I'm using you. We'd sitting alone in the room. Don't worry, I'm more than used to that. Having younger siblings, I grew up carrying their stuff and helping them with minor stuff. I nod, feeling a bit better about that. Hey, do you want to go somewhere after that? Do you have something specific in mind? I thought about a game of snooker. Oh, don't worry, I don't know the rules either. I chuckle. He didn't seem like it at first at all, but he's quite a cheerful guy once he opens up. We'll see. I still have more pressing matters at paw. I tap my paw pads on the counter nervously. The closer we are to talking to someone from the staff, the more nervous I get. At least I'm not alone here. I glance sideways, looking at Bjorn, and see him leaning on the wooden counter, looking out the window at something. Lights from the chandelier hanging from the ceiling, all reflected in his big brown eyes. He notices me looking and turns toward me too. What's up, Arvo? I open my muzzle to answer. Where I have a chance to reply, the janitor emerges from the utility room. She's a wolf of an ambiguous age, could have been 30 as well as 50. God ettermiddag. Have trying to do help me it? Good luck with the subtitles on that one, YouTube. God ettermiddag. I lost the key to my room. I went to look for it around the guest house, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Did anyone find it and returned it here? The janitor smiles at me reassuringly, completely unfazed. I start to suspect I'm not the first one to lose the key to the room in this guest house. No, not yet, unfortunately. Did you leave the guest house after you got the key? No, I didn't. So it has to be somewhere in the guest house. I will keep my eyes open. Let's not assume it's gone. Your name and room number, please? Arvo, room number 17. The janitor opens some ledgers, searching for something. Your room is a single one, and so we don't have a second key for it. I'll call the office to get the spare key so that you'll be able to access your room in the meantime. She takes an old flip phone out of her pocket and dials a number. Someone on the other side of the line picks it up quickly, and a muffled voice escapes from the small speaker. The janitor puts the phone to her ear and starts to explain the situation, and I switch my attention from her to Bjorn. We've just met today, but he's been really friendly towards me. Even though I know he's a bit intimidating at first, and I know almost nothing about him yet, now I somehow feel at ease with him. Rocket, have a melody? This is really hard. I'm trying to do this language and I keep sliding into Welsh. Blocked. I switch my attention back to the janitor, sensing troubles. She speaks with an urgent tone, too fast for me to understand her besides some single words. She ended the conversation with a simple hadet and put down the phone with a sigh. Looks like nobody from the office will be able to make it here today. We weren't prepared for the snow to start falling so early this year and in such amounts. They said they will come tomorrow morning. In the meantime, I will look for your key. For today, you'll have to move to another room. We don't have any single rooms left, unfortunately, but I can show you which rooms have a bed still available. We have a lot more double rooms than single ones, so most of the students got a room with a second bed. But maybe one of your friends still has a free bed in their room? You could ask them, but if none will have one, then come back here and I can find you something. She gives me an apologetic smile and points to a small basket on the counter filled with sweets. Maybe you want some? I shake my head, looking down on my paws. Or can I take one instead? Thanks. Not waiting for a response, he takes one and hides it in his pocket. All my stuff is already in my room. I won't be able to retrieve anything from there until tomorrow. Oh, you're right. Oh, wait a moment. She walks off to the utility room and returns after a short while, carrying something in her paw. Here's the bathroom kit for you. We always keep a spare few for those who forget to bring their toothbrushes or soap with them. She passes me the kit, all packed inside a cloth pouch. We're really sorry about this. Can I do anything else for you now? I shake my head. If you'll have any questions or problems, please come back to me or we'll try to sort it out. I'm not going anywhere, although by midnight I'm usually asleep already. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Attack, thank you. She smiles at me, turns around and returns to the utility room. Well, that didn't really go as planned. On the upside, they weren't even mad about the key. Now you're the one that can be mad. That's hardly comforting. By the way, I'm surprised you didn't take a room with Miko. Oh, surely you two are together. What is he saying? I blink, confused. Do we really give off that impression? Where did you get that idea? Of course I'm not together with him. He's my friend from middle school. We just know each other well. Easy there, easy. I get it. If you really aren't together, then I'm sorry. You were just, quite physical with each other back in the cafeteria, so I assumed that. Just because we've known each other for so long already. Get your mind out of the gutter. He's got one thing right, though. I am attracted to males. I still don't know if I'm gay or just bisexual. I know I'm not straight. It's all still a bit confusing for me. Pretty open about it now, but it took me some time to get there. He was partially right. I indeed had a crush on Miko. That was near the end of middle school, and it's all past now. It took me completely by surprise, and I had no idea how to even respond. I might be gay, but I'm not with Miko. And maybe keep it to yourself for now, okay? Ah, so I knew something was on. Oh, don't worry, I didn't plan on walking around and telling everyone or anything. So anyway, what are you going to do now? Because in any case, I happen to have a free bed in my room. If you feel like sharing a room with his bear, feel free to drop by. It's no problem for me. Oh. Well, that would solve my problems. You really wouldn't mind having a roommate? Well, I really wouldn't. You don't have to be this considerate, Arvo. I already said it's okay. This seems convenient indeed. On the other paw, I barely know him. I feel like I should spend some more time with him before agreeing. Okay, this is really tempting, but let me think for a bit before I give you an answer, okay? No, you need to tell me right now. Just joking. I'm not going anywhere. Just come in whenever you feel like it. It's room number 14. I'll first go outside a little walk. I feel like I need to get out of here for a while, get some fresh air. Sure, see you later then, okay? See you. I turn around and go through the entrance door, leaving the warm and cosy guest house. A wave of cold Arctic air hits me when I exit the building, making me shiver. It's still snowing relentlessly. Chill wind blows through the tree branches like a harpist gently pulling strings. Our bus has left already, so the janitor's car is the only one standing in the front parking. Hoping the bus driver made it to the town without any problems. I walk through the parking lot and into the woods, leaving a trail of deep paw prints in the fresh snow behind me. I inhale deeply. The air is perfectly clean and full of smells, pines and wet moss, snow and needle-covered paths. I grew up surrounded by forests, I always loved exploring them. Some of the smells here don't seem familiar, but I still feel at home here. The only thing I hear is the sound of the snow crunching into my paws and the slight whisper of the wind. I'm just on the edge of the woods, so the forest here isn't dense. In between the branches I can see the grey sky hanging heavy above me. Feels good to be here. Living in the city, it's easy to forget how nice it is to be surrounded by nature. I take out the instant camera I still have with me from my bag, turn it on, and holding it in my extended arms I point the lens at my snout. Now I have to wait for it to develop. I stash it away quickly in the bag together with the camera and close it. I close my eyes and listen to the wind. I silence my thoughts and switch my attention to my surroundings. Deep breaths now. In and out slowly. I stand still. The wind rustles the branches, blowing off the slowly accumulating snow from them. Right now the forest is still, but everything around me is brimming with life. All the bugs in the ground, all the trees around me, every tuft of moss and blade of grass. They all breathe together with me in a steady rhythm. I'm happy where I am right now. I open my eyes and shake off the snow from my snout. If not for the temperature, I could just stand here and enjoy the peaceful atmosphere. I'm starting to feel cold. Still nowhere near as cold as it gets in Finland in winter. Thanks to the proximity of the sea in this part of the country has a mild climate, there's not a temperature I'd call comfortable. Something must be wrong with my Finnish genes, because I much prefer warmer weather. Okay, let's see how the photo came out. Well, I have to say I'm proud of this one. It might be my favourite photo of myself yet. Shivering a bit, I decide to keep moving. I'll feel warmer if I don't just stand in one place. Walking among the trees calmed me down though. I feel much better now. I shake off the rest of the snow that accumulated during the short walk on my hair and turn back and walk back to the guest house. Walking much faster now, I'm back at the guest house in maybe 2 minutes. Back in the warm inside. I walk up to one of the sofas, stand in the lobby and flop onto it unceremoniously. I took some books I wanted to read with me. I'd be really happy if I had one of them with me now. But of course I left them back in my room. Only now it really hits me to not be able to use anything I left there. Including my DSLR, the books I've taken, my headphones or even my pyjamas. At least it's mildly comforting that it's only for today. And thankfully I have my phone with me. Now that I think of it, I do have some ebooks downloaded on it, but I don't remember which ones. I'll take the phone out of my pocket and click the side button. The screen turns on, showing a photo of the sea I've taken in Greece and have been used as my wallpaper ever since. Suddenly I remember something important. I haven't yet written my mother a message that we have arrived. I might be living alone now, in another country on top of that, but that just makes her more concerned about me. If I wouldn't write her a message, she'd call me soon and I don't feel like talking with her right now. If I told her about the key, she would just shout at me for a while and then call every few hours to get an update. I type a quick message to her. Hi, we've arrived safely. That should do. I press send and turn off the screen, leaning back and sighing. In the corner of my eye, I see movement on the other side of the lobby. Turning my head in that direction, I finally notice someone sitting there on a sofa. I don't think I recognise him. He's a tiger like me, wearing a loose-fitting black tank top. He's sitting on the sofa in a relaxed position and looking at me. There's a certain aura of nonchalance about him. He suddenly stands up and approaches me confidently, his tail making broad swings behind him as he walks. Well, hello there. Always nice meeting a fellow tiger. Name's Arvo, and you? I sit up on the sofa before replying, feeling strangely vulnerable under his gaze. I'm Arvo. It's nice meeting you too. Torolf points to the spot on the sofa next to me. May I? Yeah, why not? Before I have a chance to reply, he sits down beside me, taking a relaxed position again. Wow, he's really straightforward. So, tell me about yourself. What do you study? I'm from Finland and I moved here this year. I'm studying cognitive science. Oh, a freshman. How cute. A shame we're not in the same department. A shame indeed. What are you studying then? Experimental biology, but that's not really interesting. Better tell me where I can find you usually. On the campus, I guess? I live in a dormitory, so I spend most of my time on the university ground. I live further away from the city centre. I have my own flat. Hey, you could visit me sometime. You're cute, you know? He winks at me. Am I being flirted with? I don't think anyone's ever flirted with me before, let alone this openly. I don't even know how to respond to him, so instead I just stare at him. Whoa, I'm really pathetic sometimes. Certainly flatters me though. He is good looking, I have to admit. He has a nice lean body and his clothes show it off nicely. I gulp. Suddenly another figure enters the lobby. Lake, what is he doing here? He sees us and starts walking in our direction. Hey, Dorolf, I got your jacket. Oh, hi, Arvo, what a surprise. You two know each other. And now we do. We just met each other and started chatting. Thank you, Lake. You're really invaluable. Lake passes him the jacket and a key. Oh, so they're friends. Good enough friends that Torolf sent Lake to fetch him his jacket. Frankly, I don't know much about Lake's friends. When he's visiting me, he's always either alone or with his roommate. We were just going outside for a walk together, but I left my jacket in my room. Yeah, Torolf bumped into me in the corridor and suggested going somewhere together. I mean to go for a walk anyway. It's been nice talking with you, Arvo. I'll catch you later, okay? Sure, have a nice walk, you two. Oh, thank you, Arvo. See you later. I leaves to the entrance door and so I'm left alone in the lobby. Phew. I lean back on the sofa and relax finally. This was really something else. Torolf, what an interesting guy. He didn't really tell me anything about himself, did he? Just that he studies experimental biology and has his own flat. And that he finds me cute. I blush again. Well, he is handsome too. He told me he'll catch me later, so I should expect to meet him again. I hope it won't be as awkward as our pretty one-sided conversation now was. I closed my eyes and let my thoughts wander. For a moment I thought about opening an ebook. I don't feel like reading right now. Just a bit too much has happened lately. So until the end of the day I have to find myself another room to stay in. I could always ask Miko, he for sure would agree. Things still are a bit weird between us, especially after the 3-year gap in our friendship. I still have the whole day to ask others. I already managed to make some new friends here. Could be occasion to befriend someone closer. Yeah, I don't have to make any decisions now. I'll leave that for the evening. What should I do now? I for sure don't want to spend the whole day sitting on the couch here. I haven't even seen half of this guest house. I have nothing better to do anyway, so why not start exploring now? I hadn't really taken a good look at the common space near the rooms. I wasn't yet in the part of the guest house with saunas and the swimming pool. There's also a terrace on the outside and probably some other spaces I'm not even aware of. I'll go check out the sauna area first. Really curious about how it looks. I think I can hear some rustling from the cafeteria door. My curiosity wins and I walk up to them, looking through the gap. Inside, I see Bjorn sitting on a table, writing something in a notebook he's holding. He's completely focused on writing, his tongue poking out from his muzzle. Even with the blep, he still looks imposing. I could come in and say hi, but he seems busy. Maybe it's not the best moment. Before I can decide, the door creaks loudly, alerting the bear. He looks in my direction, notices me immediately. Arvo, hey there. I enter the cafeteria and close the door behind me, feeling somewhat embarrassed. Oh, I was just exploring the guest house and I heard some rustling here. If you want to be alone, I can just continue. Oh, it's fine, don't worry. He chuckles softly, putting down the notebook and leaning back on the table. I really hope it won't crack under his weight. I'm sure it wasn't designed with having bears sitting on it in mind. So... what are you doing here? I went around the guest house for a while to explore it a bit, just like you. I liked it here, so I stayed. Do you know that feeling you get when you visit spaces that are always crowded but are now completely empty? Oh, I love that feeling, and this place feels just like that. I'm sure there must be a name for that. One of those you see in articles like 10 obscure emotions that actually exist or something. I nod. Yeah, I can definitely feel that too. Liminal space. Oh, sorry? A liminal space, that's what people call it. It feels frozen in time and slightly unsettling, but also familiar and oddly calm. I read that term some time ago, but in this context it no longer really has anything to do with the actual liminality. Liminality is a state that occurs at the threshold, before crossing it completely, but after the point of no return. It was coined by anthropologists to describe the state of ambiguity that occurs during the transitional part of rites of passages. It's what's between the metaphorical death, leaving a certain phase behind and entering into the new phase changed. That's a lot of information in not many sentences. Where did you read about that? That's part of what we learn in our course. We have some basics of anthropology. I thought cognitive science would be a bit closer to neurobiology. Maybe our fields aren't that similar after all. Probably. I look at the closed notebook on the table beside Bjorn. It's been intriguing me since I've entered the room. By the way, what were you writing? I gesture at the notebook and Bjorn glances back at it, looking somewhat uncomfortable with the question. Nothing much. I'm just noting down some ideas. Something tells me I shouldn't pry, so I'll leave the topic for now. But anyway, you know a bit about me already, but I still don't know anything about you. Do you mind telling me something more about yourself? So far I only know what you study. Well, there's not much to tell, actually. I study at the university, and I like to watch anime when I have some free time. Sometimes I like to have a cold beer after a long day. It can't be the whole story, though, can it? I guess I'll have to find out myself, though. One thing I was wondering about. I guess there's no subtle way to ask about it. Your parents, they really named you Bjorn? That literally means bear in Norwegian. Yeah, they really did. Not the most creative people in the world, I know. In their defence, it's not the name I was given at birth. My parents chose it only after we moved to Norway. Wait. So you're not a Norwegian? Well, I'm thinking of myself as one, but I wasn't born here. We moved when I was 6, so I grew up here and absorbed the language and the culture. Where were you born then? In Poland, but I don't have many memories of it. I haven't visited since we immigrated here, and that's long ago. Wow, I'd never guess. By the way, I have a couple of things to do now. If you want to play snooker, you can come to my room later. By how quickly he changed the topic, I feel like he doesn't feel comfortable talking about that either. Okay, I'll leave you for now and think about it. Well, later then. See you. And that seems like a good place to leave the video for now. We're definitely going to be carrying on with this. I had thought about making one video, but it's longer than I thought. So that is it for now. And as I said, we'll definitely be doing more, maybe a couple of weeks. We're coming back to Dawn Chorus. I'm really enjoying this. It's quite a simple story, but I'm loving the fact it's set in the Arctic. And as someone who lives in the sub-Arctic, it's really nice to see that kind of thing. Yeah. And have you guessed which route we might be taking yet? You'll definitely find out in the next video. And as I said, it will be coming up sometime. I'm just not entirely sure when, but I'm looking forward to carrying on with this. I'm going to put a link for the itch page. Thank you, Nikolai. Puppy interruptions. And the Patreon and all that kind of stuff in the description for Dawn Chorus. So if any of the devs happen to have watched this, I hope you enjoyed what I was doing there. And sorry for some of the pronunciations. Like I said, I am Welsh, so I know what it's like when people mangle your own language. I'm trying, at least. And one thing before I go, I have to, as usual, mention Sindri Dragowolf, Marcus, Brian Hall, Gunnar Muller, Rusty Alvarado, Tiger Cub, Ida Corval, Anubis Silverwind, Brandon Bradford, Dissonance, Simuto, The Holder, David Taylor, Evan King, and Grizz, who are my top patrons, and thanks to them and all my patrons for taking the time to help support the channel. And I say, if any of you watching this have some spare money, if you like this, you might always want to support Dawn Chorus and their work here. So, next week, guess what? I don't know again. I think I might know what it will be. It depends when a certain update comes out. And as I promised last week, we'll be doing on the 21st, the summer/winter solstice, another episode of Tennis Ace, since it's a long weekend for me. So I'm going to do that. Next Saturday, we'll see. But I'll back to Dawn Chorus before too long. And until the next video, thanks for watching and bye for now.